Hey, welcome back to Life with the Harveys. I'm Chris.
I'm Mallory.
And today we're going to really talk about our journey over the past year with our daughter. It's been 1 year, 15 months,
But 1 year, like the fact that we even made it
it's wild.
To 1 year is like...
And the baby's still here and alive and well.
I know.
That's the crazy part.
Good job.
We did good.
I know, we made it. We're here. It has been amazing.
Yeah.
It has definitely been a roller coaster of ups and downs. Definitely probably the best thing that's ever actually happened to me.
Yeah.
But we have 10 things that we didn't expect as first-time parents.
Talk to us.
All right. So first thing is sleep.
And this is the thing, it's like everybody talks about sleep before.
Everybody tells you
get your sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep is non-existent before. Obviously, I said this to you in the car. I hear that, but I don't really have a full expectation because I haven't experienced this, so I don't really no sleep or and I have a lot more sleep than you do. But over this past year, especially at the beginning, I would still be up at night with Nelly and trying to help her put her to sleep. But I think you just stopped waking me up in the middle of the night.
Because it's just hard. If you need to understand that, if you have a really heavy sleeper partner, it takes too much work to try to wake them up than to just get the baby up yourself. And so you will realize that, literally, it's just, let me just do it.
I wake up all refreshed, what happened last night? she looks all upset.
I have these
and
10
bags in her eyes, and I'm like, hey, what happened?
Yeah, it's terrible.
What happened? Why didn't you wake me up? It's you were asleep, it'll take too much. Or you'll say, I tried to wake you up. I'm like, that's not, I'm a deep sleeper. I need you to
It was just too much work. It was too much. So literally, when people say you won't get sleep, you really do not get sleep. Our daughter, her schedule was completely flipped from daytime and nighttime was opposite, and and then she had jaundice, so it just was she was sleeping all day but awake all night. So it was just crazy, and you just really try to mentally prepare yourself that you're really not for at least I would say literally the whole year. You're not going to sleep for a whole year, at least.
Well, that's we say that, but we know people who have different experiences.
Yeah.
We know people with children who sleep phenomenally.
And that's the thing. So in this whole video, things we didn't expect, it's coming from hearing certain stories that why you build these expectations of oh, your child slept through the night. Oh my gosh, if I just do this, my child's gonna sleep through the night. Right. Oh, your child did this. So you have these expectations, but these are things that we just didn't expect based on. So your story might be different. Right. This is just our story.
I'm hoping for if you have a baby or about to have a baby, whatever. Hoping for rest for you, but we didn't get the rest end of the stick. Well, maybe I got a little bit of it, but you anyway.
Anyways, number 2 is breastfeeding. So you don't.
I can't speak to this one at all. Now there was one time when Nelly tried to. She tried to nibble on the nipple and thought something was coming out, and she was awakened to realize that this is not what you want.
She's like, what is this?
It was hilarious, and I was trying not to bust out laughing.
This is usually where I drink milk.
But she was trying to go to sleep, so she was trying to, and I'm buzzing out trying to get her to go to sleep, but it was hilarious. Go ahead.
So basically for me, my experience was very different with breastfeeding. I assumed or I heard that when you breastfed, it was this bonding experience with your child. The baby just latches, and it's just this most amazing skin to skin contact. You're just having the best time of your life. You get to chill on the couch all day and breastfeed your child. That's just what I thought, and it was not that at all. It was very draining. Yes, I chose this life. I decided I was gonna breastfeed and stuck with it, but a baby is literally constantly wanting you 24/7 because I fed her through the whole night. And this again might be different for you if you don't breastfeed through the night. Some people figure out how to do it at certain times. I don't know, but this child breastfed through the entire night. So I didn't get sleep, and then at daytime you're wanting some moment to just sit and breathe, and she's crying to breastfeed. So it was just a very emotional thing, I guess. So you're bonding, but yet you're just leave me alone at the same time. So it's just you have this moment where you think it's gonna be this beautiful thing, And it is, but it also is a very draining experience. So just to like warn you that like if you feel like you just want your body to yourself and like you hate this, it's normal. It's still like just push through it.
You're not a bad mom.
You're not a bad mom. If you have these thoughts like
Yeah.
I'm tired and I don't want you on me and just like get away and all these thoughts, like you're not a bad mom for these things. But you know, it's okay. Like just push through it.
Number 3, schedules and routines. Now this has been a conversation we had from the jump, from all the programs and people. What's them called? ABC. Take care of babies. All the
sleep trainings, things like that. Like literally from day one.
Yeah.
We have been trying to get this girl on a schedule, on a routine.
Before she was here, we were trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I read all the books, all the like,
YouTubes.
Watch all the YouTube.
As soon as we found out we was having a baby, you were on YouTube University.
24/7, like trying to get all the information I could. And I literally thought that like once she's here, if I can just get her on all these things I learned on the right schedule, the right routine, then she'll be A plus B is C.
Now were we successful?
A year later. Barely.
Kinda. Not really.
Not really. Still working on it. It's definitely constantly changing. They have like leaps and they have just all kinds of stuff that sleep regressions and stuff. So like you try to figure it out, and once it hits, it's like, oh my gosh, she finally got this down, or something changes, or teething, or like it's just always changing, and it's just like, why can't we just figure this out? And the crazy thing is that you hear, or I heard, like these stories of these moms that have like these perfect like Instagram life as a mom, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, if I just do what they did, my child will be like this. And we forget that like personalities are in hand. Our child's a screamer, so she likes to just be very loud and expressive.
Not even like if she just mad, she just wants to hit the top this Alicia Keys note.
Yeah. But like some people are okay with not having schedules and routines, but like we're just the type of people that like we need structure to our day, and like that hasn't happened for a whole year. Like a whole year, and every single month I'm like, okay, we would come back together and like, this is her schedule, like this is what we're gonna do, this is our routine. Let's not do schedules, let's do routines.
Write it down, write in the vision, make it plain.
So don't get caught up on schedules and routines. Like yes, try it, go for it, you know, but don't lose sleep over it, I guess.
Don't miss out on the importance of today, trying to figure out the structure of tomorrow. Right? Like the intentionality of like our child is growing every single day. Like, obviously we're trying to figure out the structure to, you know, to make our day flow better. But the priority of why we're doing that is to have a healthy, functional, happy baby.
Yeah.
And that's the why.
Yeah.
So I think keeping that as a reminder allows us not to be melted down and feel depressed and feel like I'm a bad mom, bad dad. It's like,
what am I doing wrong?
What am I doing wrong? It's like, child is healthy, child is, you know, fed, and like, you're doing a great job. Let's figure out how to do it better the next day.
Yeah,
so,
that's good.
Yeah.
All right, number 4 is birthday celebrations. So we went to a birthday. I'm not gonna say who, but when we were even had a baby at all.
Yeah, that was
this
not
was
even
not even thought. We went to a birthday party and we saw.
Never mind.
It was a first birthday party, and we were just like, why? Like, what's the point?
It doesn't make sense why we spend so much money and time for a child who has no idea what's going on.
Not gonna
remember a single thing.
They don't care what day
it's not even, it's mainly a party for us, the parents.
Yeah.
So I come to her, was like, we're not doing this. Like, we can do it as she gets older, but we're not doing this. That was until we had a child of our own.
Now, this party we had for her first birthday party was even bigger.
It was definitely
than
bigger
the party
than
that we went to.
That we were talking trash about. Not trash, but like, you know what I'm saying. We definitely went a little bigger.
We were those parents.
We were those
parents that we said we weren't going to be like.
Bounce house.
Ball pit.
Slide.
All the decorations.
All the platter of tacos.
Food.
Just the platter.
Everywhere.
Plethora of
spent
tacos.
A lot. of money. So this is just a reminder to say, don't ever say that you're not going to be that type of parent, because whenever you become a parent, you will be doing things that you thought you will never do.
Was that a unit thing? Was that a unit?
Probably mostly me.
I think it was mostly me. Now that I can really think about it, we've kind of talked about it and placed it on both of us. But now that I really consider,
It's a unit thing. We're one. You see what
it was a one bank account, yes, but what was the ideas from? That's another number 5.
Aesthetically pleasing home.
Now, we had up to like 25 or so plants, maybe 30.
That's a lot.
We had a lot, like a whole forest. We may have a picture or video.
Yeah, our goal is to have more than that.
Yeah,
too.
like
we really wanted a whole, what are they called, greenhouse?
Yeah, like we had a lot of plants. It felt good as well. Again, plants give off this energy that we really enjoyed until we had a child that began to move around. Well, she was crawling, wasn't as big of a deal.
But I thought that like we could still, like I said again, we compare ourselves to what we see on social media. So like you see these people that have kids and still have like a super like nice home and plants, white couches.
Yeah.
Okay, you see these things and you're like, I could do that. Like if I put these things in place, if I do this and this and that, I'm gonna get what I want. And that was not the case at all.
No, you know.
What started happening with our plants?
We had a human vacuum that began to dive our hand into the soil of the plant. Wanted to see what it tastes like, and chose a cup. You know,
maybe had an emergency hospital visit.
You know, she had dabbled into some soil. We had some stomach issue. We went to the hospital. Long story short.
We have no more plants.
No, the plants are not visible for her at this moment.
Oh God. We have one in our room that we have to like literally hover over her.
Yeah, and then two in her room. They're on the wall. We're like high up on the wall, which you can't reach.
Yeah.
And they may be dying because of that. But
so we had to come to the terms of, man, it's just not.
At least for the next couple of years, plants.
Can't have plants.
Can't
have white couches. You know.
At least not for the next. Till she like 5, maybe. You think?
I don't even know. Who knows? Like you can't really say.
Yeah, because even a 5-year-old still have a little crayon in.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know how some of these people do it. Like, I don't know, they got 2 separate houses, like one for Instagram, one of their. I don't know.
They got 2 houses.
Yeah. So along with that, number 7, if you didn't know, babies also eat books. Did you know that?
I had no idea. So this is the thing I didn't expect.
You didn't expect that.
This will be my thing. Well, I had no idea this is a thing. And this is the thing, like, you've eaten food before. Like, there's taste in the food that we give her.
She knows what eating food is.
Like, you can, to eat paper repeatedly just doesn't.
Over and over. Like, I cannot wrap my head around this. Like, she literally, any type of paper, card, thing that she sees,
but she knows she's not supposed to do it though.
And she'll run away.
Because when we catch her, she runs away.
It just scares me because I'm like, you're constantly eating paper.
Staples gonna sue us. I'm sorry.
And I literally asked Alexa one time, like, why do babies eat books? And it said, when parents not supervising their child, like, basically make me feel like the worst parent. I was like,
well, you're not doing your job.
Yeah, and I was like,
all right, Alexa.
I mean, I'm trying, but here's the thing: you can't be like always 24/7 watching your child. Like sometimes you gotta like go to the restroom and like I don't know. Sometimes you just turn away for a second.
Trying to put her hand in the toilet when we in the restroom.
Give her any second of the day. She finds something. No matter how much we try to clean up after her, we try to like figure how to keep this paper away from her. She eats it. She eats all the books. We have like a bookshelf, and I thought that it would look so cute for her to be able to like pull them out on her own and read on her own. And she literally is just like constantly eating the books. And like if you go into her bookshelf right now, like the whole outside of them are just like
it's just ripped. And the thing is not even just our books. It's books from the library as well.
We return them like that, like sorry. Like,
so terrible.
So number 7, did I say 7 already? Did I say 6? I think I might have got some of my numbers mixed up.
Okay with the mess.
7 is being okay with the mess. So like, yes, you're constantly picking up after your child so that they don't eat these things, but sometimes you just gotta just let it be.
Yeah, it was a struggle at first for me. Like you're messing, you're getting dirty, and then you're gonna hit the couch, and then you hit the boom boom. But I think one also you would say is like what you always say. It's sensory for her. It's whatever.
She's learning.
She's learning how to like.
Yeah, exploring as she gets messy.
And I think that relieved me of like, you need to find things out on your own. You need to figure out how this feels, how this tastes. Well, not the taste on everything, but how to put stuff together. I think it is helping her development, things like that. Mm-hmm. And also, it's just not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, it can be cleaned up.
Yeah, yeah. And I had to learn a lot, like on a deeper, like OCD type level. Like I grew up in a very like strict, clean household, so everything was always super clean. And I thought like when I became a parent, I was gonna be the opposite and just like let things be a mess because my mom was too strict, so I'm gonna be, you know, like messy. And then I literally became the strict mom that I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I'm trying to let go of this, and like I said, I saw a video that was like, or articles and books and things that I've read that was like, it is so good for your children to just like let them get into things. It's sensory, discovering, learning, growing, all these things. And so I had to be like, okay, this is good for her, and I'm gonna breathe through it. But like on even like the littlest things, like my highlight markers, you know, it was like she messed them up and they were all very color coordinated, and I have to just be like, just put them back the way they are. Stop stressing over it, because I'm literally like, I don't want to take out my stress out on her when this is like super unnecessary. Like this is something like, she's a baby, she's a kid, right. She's gonna be messy. Let it be. Let our couch get messy. Also, I didn't know that like, yes, messiness is gonna happen, but like I was gonna get messy too. Like that her hands are constantly. That
was the biggest part for me. I think that's what it was for me. It's like, she's gonna get dirty, so it's gonna get my pants dirty. I just bought this from Zara one time, and she literally got these pants dirty, and I was like, literally have to like tell myself it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, and now I'm like,
material.
Like I literally don't care what if I come home now and she's with food and put.
You're like, it's just
like yeah.
I mean, like.
Honestly, I had to tell myself it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And to now be in a space for her to just be her.
Yeah.
And if she put her hand, paw prints on my white pants, we're gonna see if it gets out in the white.
Like, you want to remember the moments you had with babies, not the like strictness of like constantly having to clean up after them. Like, what's the real?
Like what there would have been no point for me to raise my voice into like, no, Nelly, no, like. One, she doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Two, she's just excited to see me.
Yeah.
Like, it really doesn't it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
if it can't get washed out, I can buy another pair of pants.
Yeah.
Number 8, grieving your old life.
Big one.
The loss of freedom, time together. This is a big one. Before we found out we was having Nayeli, I was having my own apartment, and then I moved into this nice bachelor pad downtown.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of space. It was phenomenal. And literally probably a month or two after I moved in.
A few months.
It was like max 2 months.
Really?
After I signed the lease, I was in there. Yeah, it was not even probably 2 months. Where I found out we were having a baby. She had an apartment, so I decided to cancel that lease, pay the canceling fee to just have one apartment so we can save money for the child and all that. So life switched quick.
Yeah.
It's not even just the loss of time for, like, I have a family now, it's not just Nelly, right? Mm-hmm. So like my responsibility is for 2 people. So even if, you know, Nelly was asleep somewhere, I still need to be intentional with you, mm-hmm. right? So life completely is different. So there's very rare times for just us intentional with our own self. I'm out the house, but that's mainly just for work. So like obviously I have times where I can step away, but also I'm locked in shooting a video, in a meeting, doing stuff like that. So I'm not fully like just with me.
So your time literally like, I mean, your life literally switched upside down from like one moment to the next. Like, at first it was like you could go to work, hang out with me, and then you still had your time.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, you have work, you have me, you have baby, and it's like no time.
If you're at the end, if there's any time available.
Yeah, if there's any time at night, which usually is like, you got work to do still, or you got sleep, and so it's just like grieving all that. For me, it was a whole another type of grief, like literally grieving, like my identity, I guess. Like I literally was.
So I still was able to do stuff and be out and connect, and like you're like switching to just being at home.
Yeah.
So it's like from being in ministry, feel like you're effective in this outside space. Not that you're not effective, because you definitely are effective in the home, but you're
trying to retrain my mind on like everything about life, you know, because like I literally had this life that was literally totally different from what my life is now. So just like a whole switch and trying to like just I don't know, like I just said, but retrain my what life is, like who am I, who's Mallory, like, and it's not just motherhood, it's not just, and not getting like frustrated that like, oh, you get to get out and do work while I have to stay home and do my work or whatever, and like you get moments to do this and this and that, and I don't, and it was just like, it was a lot. Like you're literally gonna grieve your old life if it really was a whole gradual switch the way it was for me. Like if you get to go back to work and stuff, maybe it's a little bit different, but like for me, my whole life is totally different. I mean, we're like in the middle of still like COVID, so you know, churches shut down, so there was no socializing there, no volunteering there. Like there was just like a lot of things that happened that my life is totally different, and so I was not expecting to like literally grieve my whole life and see how different it was. And then again, like you go from one moment to like we're hanging out anytime all day long when we want to hang out, and yes, we do work and stuff like that, but like it was always just me and you. That's it, just me and you. And then a baby is now in the middle of it, so now if we want to watch a movie, we have to watch Disney. You know?
Which I'm a fan of anyway, so I'm fine with it. I'm a big Disney guy.
You can watch the same Disney movie over and over and over again. I'm like, we watched this one.
But we can't like fully watch it without having to like make sure you're not fall off the couch and like what are you doing? Like sit down.
Yeah, like we can't sit down. If we want to go on vacation, we have to like think about Nelly and flights and all these places that we go. We kind of have to think about her in ways, and so it's not just as easy. But I think that is a good thing to like try to figure out our new life and the joy of like, wow, we get to take our daughter to experience these things with us. So along with like grieving your old life, you might also lose a lot of friends.
I'll just say this again, reiterating, prior towards pandemic, we were the two of us were around people all the time, and not from friends to acquaintances, just being around people. We were in ministry, so we were around people all the time. Pandemic hits, we had issues in our relationship, and baby happened later. So there were people that were around us. One, baby comes, we don't have as much in common with some people. They vanish. Vanish is a harsh word, but it is what it is. And then also there were people that were close to us that just chose to step aside from being friends with us. So, but this happened all around the same time, and so this was, I feel like, the worst moment to not have friends. Because it's like pandemic hit. The two of us going through separate crap like that. And may not, like, I'm not even being vulnerable to really express what I'm going through. She is. That's kind of how our relationship kind of started. But this is the moment where we need friends. But the exact same moment where, for some reason, God allowed people to step out of our lives. But also, I think it gave us the ability to lean on each other even more. Not only each other, but the Lord. And allowing Him to be our foundation. Him to be our consultant, him to be our healer, so we can have the conversations. Because I was struggling at that moment with a lot of things internally, and I felt like I needed people to be, and I did. community. That's why community is important to welcome me in that journey. But ultimately, the Lord is the one that heals and walks with faithfully, and that's this is a whole nother conversation. But I think I said this to you. Think about Jesus. He healed people and walked with people at the same time. He came and healed different people, but also he did life with people.
Yeah.
Right? And I think sometimes many people in the Christian space or whatever, it's one or the other. Or specifically, or if I can't heal you, I'm gonna dip out.
Yeah.
But I think that was the unfortunate reality that we have with some people around us. And I think what we tried to, again, this is a whole other conversation. I'm trying to figure out how to make this short. But
stay tuned to the podcast.
Stay tuned too. But no, I just feel like it was definitely a tough time. All I'd say, there was a time we needed friends.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it was time that we were able to connect with each other and position ourselves to connect with the Lord. And even I think family. I think with the pandemic gave spaces to have more conversation with our family and hang out more with our family, and we did. But,
yeah, I think for sure for us it changed a lot in those ways, but also like it can just change for people because your life goes from like you being not single, like if you were single already to having a baby, then that's like a whole other thing, but like married to now having friends that have babies and some friends that don't have babies. So then it's hard because they're like, why you gotta bring a baby everywhere? Like, you ain't got a sitter, like you can't just drop them out somewhere, like why, like they're wanting to just like go to concerts and to do things that aren't as common for babies to be there, I guess, or like, I don't know, just not have your baby with them 24/7. Like you want to be able to sit down and have a normal casual conversation with somebody without having to like, juggle a child and all these things all over the place. So it's just a little different because then you feel like, dang, like they don't want to hang out with me anymore, like now. And so in those other aspects, it's different. Obviously our story was just like people just like disappeared, but in that way some people might do that to you as well, just because you have children. It's not that you did anything wrong or where they don't want to be like your friend because of certain things, but it might just be because like, oh, you have a baby now, it's just not as like easy for you to just come and play volleyball with us and come and do this and that. Yeah. So it just looks different. Like friendships just change based on lifestyle, what's going on in your life. So like just expect that like if you don't have friends that have babies, they might act a little bit different towards you, and that kind of does hurt. Like it affects you a little bit, but we just have to figure out how to find like people that have babies so that you can do play dates together and go to lunch together with another person that has a baby, so they're not just like sitting there watching your child scream the whole time. Like you're both over here trying to juggle spilt milk and spilt water and eating rocks that are randomly at a restaurant. I don't know why they were right behind us, but anyways, you have like friends that are doing the exact same thing and understand your struggle, why you were 30 minutes late to it. Like you just understand each other much better when you have children. It sucks that you would lose friends that don't have kids or things like that, but also it's just like great in finding those friends and I still haven't really found many of those friends, so I'm looking for them, just put in an application if you like to be my friend and you have kids.
Applications are open.
Comment below.
Number 10, final one, you won't be as great as a parent as you thought you would be.
What was your expectations for parenting? I feel like for me, I had a for sure list. Also, I read a lot of books and was like, this is how it's supposed to be.
I didn't read the books.
But you just didn't have any expectation. You didn't know what to expect.
No, only what you know from what people say is the small things of you're not going to sleep anymore. Since we got a girl, she's going to be wrapped around your finger. That's it. Stereotypical thing. So I hear that, but the totality of it, I'm not aware of until you're in it.
So then when you became a dad,
right?
Did you feel like I'm gonna be the best dad?
Yeah, I think I definitely have I want to be the best father I can be, for my daughter. But
has there been moments where you're like, dang, I'm not the best like I thought I was gonna be?
Yeah, for sure. I think there were definitely moments where I'm like, bro, you need to get off your phone. Like you need to, or like especially I'm getting emails or whatever. I'm like I need to get the day started because I got a meeting in an hour, so I need to prepare before. Especially when we spend that first morning, couple hours with her. I'm like trying to get prepared for that meeting, whatever. But it's like that's gonna come like.
Yeah.
And so I think in those moments I'm like, you're trash. You're worried about your priorities.
Yeah.
And then also those moments I was saying with the, my clothes or whatever, those are the waking moments that you can't plan for until you're in that moment. Mm-hmm. Like I could say beforehand, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be upset or say it, whatever. But until I'm that moment where I have to tell myself it's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I could have the expectations.
Yeah.
Until I'm in that situation, totally different game. But
I feel like that's a lot of people's expectation is like once you finally like either you did expect a lot or you didn't know what to expect, but then when it became a parent, it was like, okay, well I'm gonna do the absolute best job that I could ever be, and then whenever you mess up or things aren't what you expect, then all of a sudden you're like, I'm a terrible parent, I'm not doing my job. Like,
that's what I like. Don't get me wrong, the books and all that stuff were great. But like the real homework is just being in the game.
Yeah.
Just being in the practicing. You know what I'm saying?
Day.
Just like being 1% better the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying books are wrong. We may write a book down the line. I don't know. But that shouldn't be your. If it didn't happen like the book said, I'm a trash mother. I'm a trash dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, let's figure out how to become better the next day.
Yeah, I think a lot of the biggest expectation is like, I'm gonna be the best, and then you just kind of get to this like reality of like, well, maybe I'm gonna be at least an okay parent. Like I just want to settle for like the world's okayest parent. That's what I'm going for. No, but I think like you have to just understand like you're going to mess up.
Yeah.
Like, things are gonna go wrong. It's not gonna go as you expected. Like, there's gonna be a lot of things that don't make you the world's best parent. But, it's okay.
The reality is, we're never gonna be the world's best parent, mom or dad. But we're the best parent for our child.
Yeah.
That's the reality that we have to remind ourselves. This is who God called me and has given me the opportunity to steward over and to lead. So I'm the best person for this role, and God's gonna give me the ability to lead in this role.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be the best. I'm never gonna be the best parent in the whole world. There's a lot of parents, some dope parents in the world, and I'm not even gonna put myself in competition. But I'm the best parent for this child.
Yeah, and like leaning on God as the best parent for the child, and he's our parent, so he's teaching us how to be parents.
That's good.
And like leaning on him, and that like, hey, I actually
Going
am a
to
trash person, trash parent, don't know what I'm doing, trying to figure it out. Like I need you, God, because I cannot do this by myself. And being okay with setting down our pride to thinking that like we have to do everything on our own, we have to have it by the book, we have to have this type of parenting style, and realize like if it doesn't happen like that every single day, or how like what we want it to look like, that's actually okay, because in our weakness, God is our strong. He's our strong. He's our strength. It's just, understanding that like your sleep habits are gonna change, your lifestyle is going to change, finances are going to have to be forced to change.
The food
you'll
pouches.
change as a person. Life is gonna change, and you just need to embrace change.
That's good. That's real.
Embrace.
That's it.
It all. Expect to become different. You know what I mean? You can't expect that it's gonna be the same.
No, I mean when they were raising a human that's changing every day.
Like when a baby is birthed, also a new parent is birthed. You know?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to figure out.
A parent is birthed. That's from the first one. But yeah, I think that's exactly it. Like if we remain the same with an evolving gift, right? That's an evolving child. New things, new emotions, new what's the things you leaps. We need to continue to evolve and grow ourselves and allow ourselves God to mold us to become the best version of the parent that our child is at the next version.
Yeah.
And I think that's where
You say virgin?
Version.
Sorry, interrupt your sermon here. No, that just threw it off. Oh, I bet you said virgin. I definitely heard virgin. You're never virgin.
Version. Version.
Definitely said virgin.
I did not. I said version. It sounds like it. It sounds like it, but it's version.
I guess when you mumble it, it's like virgin.
Version.
Virgin.
It sounds like either way.
Version.
We need to end the video.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have anything you'd like to share, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see y'all next time.
Deuces.